Okay, well, good morning. Good morning. If you are seeing this, we are coming online for everything right now. So give us just a second. I know we're live on YouTube because I just got the notification. That's good. So let me make sure we are live on Facebook. And welcome. Welcome to the middle of May. We are official close to where we need to be. It looks like I'm live here, live on Facebook, sharing it to our marketing group right now. There we go. Okay, we are good. Welcome, everyone. Hey, thank you so much. If this is your first time to jump either in my Facebook channel, the Kevin Harris, or the Marketing Edge, for that matter, if you just joined the Marketing Edge, it's a free Facebook group that we have for coaching, all things coaching around really the real estate transaction, real estate agents, title, lending, inspector, marketers. It's really just business and mindset at the end of the day, but we are focused a little bit on the real estate industry, although I will tell you, I've coached in several industries, and business is business. And if you're on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us on YouTube. It is a new channel for us, and we are just now figuring out how to mess with the algorithm and get the thumbnails and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be a work in progress. But if you are on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I got the notification on my phone that I was live, so that's good. Today, I want to talk about specifically something that is, it's hard to talk about for most people. Even entrepreneurs, we often get this topic and we think about this topic a lot and we say it a lot, but when we're in the middle of it, it's hard to, it's really hard to live in a state of change. So I want to talk about today, one, because there's some personal change in my life, but then two, I have, it's my birthday this month. I am a Taurus. I'm the last day of the Taurus in May. And I will tell you that in the time that I've been on this planet and really been in the workforce, I have had change in my life, both professionally, at least 4 or 5 times, different industries. Whether it's been my choice or life's choice. And I wrote a book on it. The Power of Thee is really about how do you go about changing whatever it is you're trying to change, whether it's your health, that way you energize yourself, your relationships, or the opportunities that provide the funding for it all. You guys, if you can see my background, there's a state championship trophy there for 10 years, a little over 10 years of working in an industry where I was brand new when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, never coached before, and worked my way in the ability to be able to win a state championship here in Texas. And I just say that to say, I'm not in the coaching industry as far as football field. I do coach agents and coach entrepreneurs, but it's a different industry. And being in real estate and changing careers like that, you get a little adapted to being able to change. It doesn't hit you quite as hard the more you do it. But I will tell you this, it's still scary. There's still an unknown. And what I want to talk about today is how do we actually, one, recognize that change is not our enemy, because our internal voice that we often listen to, I call it Andy. If you've heard me say why I call it Andy, you can look it up. If not, drop me a comment section and ask me, and I'll tell you. But I call it Andy. Andy, in my head, wants to keep me safe, and safe to him is normal, is consistent, is the status quo, right? Because that's the thing we know. Whether it's actually good for me or whether it's actually what I should be doing, he still feels like that voice in my head still feels like he has to keep me safe. And everybody's got one. Everybody's got that internal voice that happens that tries to keep us from danger, because Science has said that our subconscious doesn't actually know the difference between danger of making a phone call and danger of a bear running at us. All it knows is danger, and it tries to keep us safe. So it's the reason why, if you've ever had to make a phone call, or if you've ever had to go into an office cold, or if you have ever had to go to an interview, or you ever had to do something that was very uncomfortable, it feels like internally, like the bear is rushing at you, right? That you're in mortal danger, although consciously we know we're not. And so there's this dichotomy of this, or this duality of, we know we should be doing it, yet our subconscious is telling us to stop, right? And if we're not careful, we'll let the subconscious win, because that's the natural state of where we are. Because when we were in caves and we were, on the plains in Texas, forging everything, that subconscious kept us safe from the wolves and the bears and the Indians and all the things. But most of us don't have that kind of danger in our life anymore, right? Our danger is more internal. It's between the ears. But again, the voice is the same. So I want to talk about, how do we, one, recognize that, and then two, how do we overcome it? So I want you to stay to the end. I've got 3 steps that maybe will help you in whatever journey you're going through. I know it helps me. It's in my book on how to actually build out your hero story. It's a portion, I think it's chapter 6, that talks about how you actually go through this process of understanding that it is not the voice that's the problem. It's who we listen to that may be the problem. Okay. So here we go. Today is the day that you can decide to move in a different path, to change your trajectory. Not tomorrow, not a week from now, today. Right? I got up this morning. For the people who know me that watch this, I try to get up 4 days a week, go to the HIIT workout with my wife of 38 years, and we're not young chickens anymore, and so it takes effort for us to get out and get up and be at the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning, work out hard for 50 minutes. But what that does over time is you start to realize the benefit of that consistency, the benefit of the thing that you don't want to do, but you do it anyway. And it starts to build the muscle a little bit of doing other things that maybe you don't want to do. I've done at least a half a dozen fasts in the past 2 years. Most of them are 72 hours. I've done one that's 96 hours. And I'm not saying it's easy. Matter of fact, if you've ever done a fast, it's not always pleasant, but there are moments that you realize why it's so important to, let your body rest, let your body heal, let your body just sit in itself and meditate and talk to, your maker, and get in touch with your own internal conversation in a way that's different than when you're, eating a hamburger, so to speak. So I want to talk to you today about, how do you actually think, how do you understand, or how do you know whether the voice in your head is telling you the truth, or whether it's just trying to keep you safe. We live in a world of comfort. We live in a world of stability. We've been told our entire life, if you were like me, that you want to get a decent job and you work for 20 or 25 years or 40 years, and you collect your pension, although pensions don't really exist anymore, but you invest your money and you do the things, and that works for a lot of people. But if you're watching me right now, I would dare say that the majority of people that watch this channel, watch me, listen to my coaching, we chose a different path. We chose a path of uncertainty. We chose a path of becoming the hero in our own story, whatever that means to you. Providing for our family at a different level, building a company that serves hundreds, if not thousands of people, marketing in a way that we actually get rewarded for our efforts and not just a paycheck, right? If you're watching this, that's probably who you are, or maybe it's somebody who you want to be. So there's a saying from Seth Godin that says, change is not a threat, it's an opportunity. Survival is not the goal. Transformative success is. Let me say that again. Change is not the threat, it's an opportunity. Survival is not the goal. Transformative success is. Most people, the 95% out there, are just trying to survive, right? And we hear it all we hear it in the news, we hear it on social media about just how things are terrible, and they just want to survive, and they just want to be safe. And now there's this. If you're watching this within the recent months, because this is an evergreen on YouTube, they just had another virus that was on a ship. It's not supposed to be what it was, COVID, but it's like, we just want to keep you safe. We just want to keep you safe, because they know that most people, that's really what they're just looking for. They're just looking to be safe. But if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a salesperson, if you're a business owner, you have chosen, whether you realize it or not, unsafe. You've chosen the path least taken. You've chosen to be in the group where we have to constantly be transforming ourselves and constantly be changing. I don't know if there is a time in my life more than about 6 months that I felt quote unquote safe. Now, I live a very different life than a lot of people. I'm a builder by my mentality. My dad was a machinist. My grandfather was a mechanic. They built things out of steel. They built things out of and made things run. My processes in my brain do the exact same thing. I just do it with people and systems and businesses and things like that. But I listen to my dad and how he thinks about how to build something. And it's real similar to how I look at what I build. And the reason why that's a little different is I get very uncomfortable once it's built. Once it's humming, once it's going at idle, once it's going at a certain speed, I either want to rev it up or I want to break it. That's my natural tendency, or jump off altogether and start building something else. That's not easy for the people who live with me. I can tell you that. It's not even easy for me. But I've recognized in the time that I've been on this planet, I've recognized that's my personality. That's what I'm on this planet to do, is to help people build their businesses, build their machines, but then also in the process, build my own. And that's almost always will live in a constant state of change. And I get, that's kind of my drug of choice, I guess, so to speak. It's one of those things that I don't necessarily, I long for the time where everything's peaceful, right? I long for the time where everything's just humming. But as soon as I get there, I'm like, oh, I'm bored, right? And I don't, I'm not saying that's who you are, but I'm just letting you know that when you live in that state of change, it becomes a little bit more like your normal, if that makes sense. I want to speak directly to the people that are watching this that are, maybe that's not where they are. Maybe your normal is comfort. Maybe your normal is stability. Maybe your normal is just getting by. Maybe your normal is just, if you're a real estate agent, closing a deal a month. And if you could just close a deal a month, you could stabilize, right? But here's what I will tell you. We're not meant to be normal. Because what is normal at the end of the day, right? What is normal? Normal is whatever society says is normal at the time. Normal from 20 years ago is not normal what it is right now. And if you live to be normal, if you live to be stable, if you live to be in that state of just getting by, what you might find yourself, especially in the worlds that we live in, you might find yourself getting behind, or worse yet, not getting there to begin with. Because the only way that we ultimately succeed at whatever it is that we're supposed to be doing on this planet is to grow. And growth only happens in change. Real estate agents, I would talk specifically to you right now. If you're watching this, we're headed into a busy season. The calendar should be filling up. If you're on any of my coaching calls or any part of the Edge Collective or anything like that, you realize that this is the time of most parts of the United States where the market tends to go up naturally, because the end of school, we're getting into summer, people are thinking about moving, they're getting, cabin fever, all the things, and the market is going to do what the market is going to do. It's not the same market as it was last year. It's not the same market as it was 2 years ago. It won't be the same market next year. The market is always going to be different. Right now, it's kind of an even market across most major markets in the United States, which means that good homes still sell. Good homes still, but they may sit a little longer because there's a lot more inventory for buyers, right? And honestly, with buyers are a little bit more hesitant right now because there is so much inventory, and they're still waiting to see if the interest rates are going down. So our skill as real estate agents is to be able to have a great consultation with our buyers and sellers and let them understand the market is what the market is right now, and we're living in that market, and we can't wait for the next market. Because I don't know about you, but I know most major markets that I coach in or that I talk to and I do classes or that I have clients in, we may be going flat on some of our prices. We may even go down a couple, 1 or 2%, but we're never going to, right now, most major markets, they're not predicting a collapse of the market where a $500,000 house will be worth $300,000 next year, right? That's not the economics that we're talking about, and good for that, right? But the reason I say that is 5 years from now, is the house going to be more expensive or less expensive than it is right now? Chances are it's going to be more expensive. Chances are, where no matter what market you're in, the housing market is going to be higher than it is now, 5 years from now. So when's the best time to buy? When you can. If you can buy right now, buy right now. If you can sell right now, sell right now, because you never know what the market's going to do. If you've been in the market, I've been in the real estate industry now almost a dozen years, and I've gone through 3 markets, right? I don't predict them. But we have to ride them, and we have to understand that the market is going to be different. It's not going to be normal. There's not going to be same. Seller expectations are different. The way we do business is different. Oh my gosh, all the news right now around mergers and acquisitions of all these big cloud-based companies buying these portals and buying these other companies, and Zillow and NAR and all the things. And does it, at the end of the day, affect what you do on a daily basis? Does it affect all that noise? Does it affect you going out and talking to the people you need to talk to, calling the people you need to call, doing the open house that you need to do, taking the listing, doing the listing video, doing the social media content? I would tell you, no, it doesn't. It doesn't change what you should be doing on a daily basis. And whether you're a real estate agent, whether you're a lender, whether you're in marketing around title, or whatever it is that you do in the real estate side, or business for that matter, the noise that people listen to keeps them still, keeps them from moving, keeps them in the jar of normalcy and complacency, and keeps them from doing the things that they should be doing to build their world, to build our world, to build your world. You need to put your head down, figure out what it is that you need to change in your business, and then go do that. I'm doing that. Today, I'm doing something vastly different than I did last Monday. Okay. Not to get into the details of it, but I'm having to shift my business. And I know, one, because I've lived through it several times, but I know I've got 2 choices. I can sit and go, oh my goodness, this market, what am I going to do? Do I need to go do Uber? All the things that we often do as entrepreneurs, and use all the excuses of why we shouldn't be doing the thing that we actually know we should be doing. Because the thing that we know we should be doing in our head is scary. It's Andy telling you, don't do it because you might get rejected. Don't do it because that person may not like you. Don't do it because that person on the other side is going to call you in. Don't do it because it's scary. But we know that if we did enough of it, it would solve all the problems. Not all of them, but most of them, right? Change is not about comfort. Matter of fact, I would say it's the antithesis of comfort. You can't fight it and wait for it to go back to the way it was. You have to lean into whatever that change is and find the opportunity inside the shift. You have to lean into it. You have to, if you've ever watched Forrest Gump, Lieutenant Dan, he goes through, he gets his legs shot off or blown up, and he's in this Great Depression for many years, and then he goes and gets on a boat with Forrest Gump to go shrimping, and for days and days and weeks they don't get any shrimp, and then a big storm comes and blows everybody goes into the docks because of this storm, and they stayed out. And that scene where Lieutenant Dan is on the top of the mast, if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's awesome. It's an awesome movie. I think it's the best business movie in the history of business movies. If you'll watch it from a business perspective, you'll see what I mean. But he's on the top of the mast, no legs, holding on to a rope. And he's just like, come on, God. And the storm's just gale, and it's just blowing. And it's like they're about to tump over, and he's just daring God. And then the next morning, it blacks, and it hits to this scene where he's at peace with himself. Finally, after many years, he's swimming in the ocean with no legs, just because he finally faced his fear and realized that it was his salvation. Think about that. What are you fearing right now that if you just faced it, it could be your salvation in your business, in your marriage, and how you get energy? Or maybe it's a change of opportunity. Maybe it's a change of what you do. Maybe it's you've been riding the fence on being a realtor, so you've done it part-time while you held on to this other job, or you held on to this thing that kept you there just long enough, but the entire time you just kept going deeper and deeper and starting to drown, but you can't let go. Well, maybe it's time that you let go. Maybe it's time you go in head first into the deep end and say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to face the storm. I'm going to make the calls. I'm going to do the open house. I'm going to do the networking, whatever it is. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that. Matter of fact, I'm not even saying you should do that. Only you know what your monster is. Only you know what you should be facing, and you've not done it. I've got this book. I don't know if you can see it. I've got this book. It's a really cool, it's real leather. I mean, it's got these really cool pages in it. This thing, hundreds of dollars, because I paid for this at an artisan fair in Fort Worth years ago. You know how much I've written in this book? Zero. You want to know why? Because I spent so much on it that I really wanted it to be impactful when I started writing in it. This was my journal. Like it's a journal. It's like a journaling book, but it's linen pages. It's a really cool feeling, like it's just going to be something I hand down kind of thing. Right. And I've not written in it because I've been afraid that whatever I write in, it's not going to be big enough. It's not going to be world changing enough. It's not going to be life changing enough. And today's the day that I open it up and I start writing in it and I start documenting what's about to happen. It's my commitment to myself and to my business and to my family and to my life and to my legacy that I'm going to document the journey, my hero story. So what do you need to do? What do you need to do? What book do you need to hold on to? What's the thing? Maybe it's not a thing. Maybe it's just a commitment. Maybe it's a accountability partner. But what is it that's going to keep you from going back to the normal? I'm going to give you 3 things that you can write down. I'm literally going to do this myself today. So you can ask me in a week or 2 how it's going. I don't mind the accountability. Number 1, name the change. Name the change. Whatever it is that you're wanting to change, whether it's in your health, whether it's a relationship, whether it's your business, whether it's how you run your business, whether it's your lead flow. What's the one thing? Gary Keller and Jay Papasan wrote a book called The One Thing. I think it's probably up here somewhere. It's in one of my libraries. And it's the statement is, what's the one thing that you can do that's by doing it would make everything else easier or unnecessary? I like that question because what's one thing that if you did it today, if you started doing it today, we just finished, today's the last day. Matter of fact, yesterday was the last day of the 30-day challenge. I had a 30-day challenge for a group. Some participated, some didn't. But my commitment was to finish the 30-day challenge, was to actually take the text out, but put the text out into our group, and to do the WhatsApp and make sure that I finished the 30-day challenge, regardless of who was part of it. That was my commitment on the 30-day challenge. Now I'm going to start another 30-day challenge. I think our life should be around, especially in business, our life should be around what can we do? What's one thing that we can do for the next 30 days consistently every day, so that 30 days from now, it becomes more of a habit. It becomes, we can see the change in our business. We can see the change in our relationship. You know, if you've got a relationship issue, maybe with your child, or maybe with your wife or spouse, or husband, you know, what is one thing that you could do for the next 30 days that would start to change how that looks in your life? I don't know what it is, but I bet you do. I bet if you thought about it hard enough, maybe went on a fast for 24 hours or so and just kind of contemplated, I bet it would come to you. I know what it is for me. I've done some research in my internal mechanism of a brain, and I promise you, I know what it is. So name the change. Number one, name the change. Number two, find the opportunity inside it. Like right now, you might be going through this storm, but in every storm, there's opportunity. Every single storm I've ever gone through, if I just stood back enough, just got out of the middle of the storm and just pushed myself back enough, I could see, wait a minute, there's an opportunity there. There's an opportunity for growth. There's an opportunity for an exit. There's an opportunity for me to go to a next level. There's an opportunity for me to build on this. Whatever it is, there's an opportunity in every part of change in your world, but you've got to be able to recognize it. You got to get out of the storm, like out of the middle of it, and just step back, give yourself some time, a little bit of time of reflection, and you'll start to see the opportunity, maybe what God's wanting you to see. Or maybe it's just the fact that we're so close to the forest, we can't see the trees. So number one, name the change. Number two, find the opportunity in it. Number three, find your people. You are not going to do this alone. I promise you this. No one succeeds alone. No one. I've tried many times, and I don't do it. I can't do it. I can't get to the mountaintop without the guide. I can't get to the mountaintop without a partner. I've got to have people in my life that are not just cheering for me, but that are truly wanting me to succeed and are willing to say the hard things to get me there. Because if I win, they win. If everybody wins, the whole group wins. So surround yourself with people. Go find your people. Go find the people that are wanting you to win, and then allow them to speak to you. Allow them to speak the good, and maybe not the thing that makes you feel so good, but the thing that you need to hear. That's what the Hero Edge, that's what the Edge Collective is all about. That's why I created it. That's why the Marketing Edge, which is our free Facebook group that we have, that's what it's about. It's about allowing people to talk to you. I speak into it all the time. We have thousands of people inside the Marketing Edge, and most of them don't ever speak because they don't allow that opportunity for growth. Even though we say we want to be entrepreneurs, most of us decide we just want to be normal. We just want to be average. We just want to be the like everybody else, just stay with the Joneses. But the reality is your hero story is on the other side of that. Your hero story is where the dark, I always say it's the cave that you don't want to go into is where everything that you want. So I promise you this, if you surround yourself with the right people, the people that have a growth mindset, the people that have a mindset of change and understanding that it's not easy, but it's worth it, and that will encourage you to go on that journey and will help you with that journey themselves, I promise you, your life will never be the same. So before I close today, I want to ask you to do something. Whether you're watching this live, whether you're watching this on the record, whether you're watching it 2 years from now, drop in the comment section something that you think you need to change today. Just put one word that describes the change you're in the middle of right now or that you're about to go through. It doesn't have to be personal. You don't have to, but that one little piece of accountability oftentimes will spark your whole journey. You know, they say the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. Make it your first step today. Put it in the comment section. DM me if you've got my, if you're on Facebook. But let's start that journey today. Let's start your hero journey today. The hero edge, the statement is uncover, discover, and realize the hero in your own story, which is you. You're the hero of your own story. We all want to be the hero of our own story. We all want to become somebody that we currently are not. Okay, whether that's a better mom, a better dad, a better husband, a better builder, a better business owner, we always have these ideas in our head. And most time we just keep them locked away because we're too scared to reveal them, because what happens if they don't come true? Well, what happens if they don't come true? 95 years old and we never even went after our goals. They say the hospices are littered with people that they own. The biggest thing they regret is not doing the thing. Most people don't regret doing the thing and failing. They regret not even trying to do the thing. What is your thing? Put it in the comment section. Okay. Let's start this journey together. That's what this channel's about. That's what the group's about. That's what my whole coaching company is about. My coaching company is nothing more than me trying to help you become the hero in your own story. That's it. Okay. So I want to help you if you want it. And let's partner together. Let's become a community. Let's become a community of people who are all taking each other and rising the ships by holding each other accountable, and more importantly, going into the caves we don't want to go into, cheering us on, understanding that when we face the storm, like Lieutenant Dan did, the morning will come and we will realize the storm wasn't as bad as we thought. Guys, if you're watching us on YouTube, please hit the subscribe and notification bell. Share it with your friends. We're trying to grow the channel. Again, we're going to be putting more content out over the coming weeks. And I appreciate you guys even watching this. If you watch it on the record, thank you so much for that. We're here every Monday, 11 o'clock. I'm going to do this as long as I possibly can. I love doing lives, and I love having the interaction. Guys who've been commenting, thank you so much, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on YouTube. And remember, growth is painful. Change is painful. Nothing is as painful, though, as staying stuck somewhere you don't belong. Growth is painful. Change is painful. But nothing is as painful as staying stuck somewhere you don't belong. Guys, go be the hero in your own story. I appreciate you. Have a great day. Have a great week. Go be the hero. Peace and love.